Mhm. Okay, I did a 18-minute recording, but it was on camera. All right, this is my SubQ hat. Subscriber questions hat. And this is my, wherever it went, theology hat. Must have fallen off. I'm hoping Stone Kingdom of Yahweh. He said he measured it and he said he's gonna give me he's got some hats I can wear. We'll see. Maybe one of them's more theologically looking than this thing or that thing. Anyway, just different things. I just feel like, okay, so eating rats, sawdust bread, and sometimes each other. No. Eating rats, tree squirrels, snakes, frogs, unclean meats en route to safety. Personal decision, yes. One guy pointed out that you can die from starvation by not eating rats, and if that's your only choice. But you can also die of hantavirus and parasite and disease and bacteria and virus because they're full of all kinds of nasty stuff. True. Times a year. That's a big one. You eat rabbit. People that eat rabbit only eat rabbit in months that don't have an R in them. Is that right? Or in months that do have an R? October, September, October, November, December. Because the cold, and maybe January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. Don't eat rabbit. There you go. Yeah, if it has an R in it, you can eat it. So, what is a disease they have? I can't think off the top of my head. Rabbit disease. I think it begins with R. Anyway, so one thing that can help you is hot sauces, hot things, cayenne and curry. So I heard one time, I rambled on about this, 18 minutes worth. I'm just going to try to shorten it just for my sake. I heard many years ago, Russian Special Forces carry curry and American Special Forces carry cayenne. They're out there, they're on patrol, they're doing whatever, long-range reconnaissance patrol, LRRP, the likes of which, never will happen again, most likely. Being out, Lieutenant Colonel Bo Grice, who is like the highest decorated Vietnam vet, when he's in his uniform, it's covered with medals from here all the way down. And he's the one that started a civilian training operation, SPIKE, S-P-I-K-E, special. I'm tired. Specially prepared individuals for key events. Basically trained his own private army, not private, but his own cadre of people, 4,000 to 5,000 people, which just coincidentally happens to be the same number of people that Lieutenant Colonel Ben Raines trained in the books Out of the Ashes, and etc. Fire in the Ashes, Betrayal in the Ashes, Death in the Ashes, Ashes from the Ashes. Anyway, I had a list of about 30 coincidences, bizarre coincidences between the character in that book and Bo Grice. Yeah. Not intentional. Couldn't have been intentional. But, yeah, pretty bizarre. All right. Bunny trail. But he said one time for 3 days, he was in a rice paddy, and he couldn't move. They're in there in the rice paddy squatting, and if they have to, if they do number one or number two, it's right there, and it's floating down, feeding the rice. So he could not move, and he would drink water and then take one of the pills, and he would use his stomach as a canteen. And normally you fill the canteen, you put the pill in there, you shake it up, you wait, and he survived. So there's a lot of things like that they've done, and the point is that when you're eating rats or frog, just unclean food. One way, obvious this, and this guy said in the comment, cook it to the point of burning it, try to kill everything and then pray over it, And another thing is cayenne and curry, hot stuff. The buddy we lived with in Kansas, Don, he read Bo Greitz's autobiography, cover to cover. Thing is that thick, 800 pages. And he said, quote unquote, because he knew every battle, he knew every person in the book. And he said, that was dead nuts on. That book was righteous. There was not a fact missing, not a date, nothing. He said everything was right on. So he had respect for him as far as that goes. So the that whole era is a different era. I said that the other night. If you know any Vietnam vets, suck them for information. Not a bad idea to befriend them just because they need friends. Desert Storm too, but like I said, I started collecting Vietnam vets, as I called it. Becoming friends with them and learning what I could. And I'm glad I did, because that's what brought me here. Because I'm not here because of my own thinking. I'm here because Don, about 100 times literally, told me, you cannot survive in the Rockies. You cannot survive in the mountains. You cannot survive anywhere in the West. They will control the water totally. You have to go where you have water, you have rainfall, you have surface water, there, so you can grow food. He knew it would be a protracted conflict. Just, he had seen civilizations, peoples wiped out by our deep state. So he knew what was going to happen. He instantly, gravitated when he heard that's how I met him, there was a radio program, Bob somebody, not Heckler, 4 nights a week. And one night he interviewed J.J. Johnson, Ohio State Militia. One, I think, Trockman, Militia of Montana. And one was somebody with our group, John Schlosser, yeah. And another one, Michigan, Michigan. Anyway, 4 nights during the week, blah, 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 and this guy called in and we became friends. So, many stories there. And I'm glad I did, because that's why I'm here. So, the idea that I'm trying to get across for, just ranting and raving, and I'm tired and all that good crap, but, hot sauce, cayenne, good for a lot of things. Number 1, for killing stuff. Number 2, staying warm, okay? Shugmery, Shugmery, not sure, Shugmery, Minnesota, 40 below zero, 2 nights in a row. 2-night outing, 40 below zero, did fine. But guys wrote in and said, one guy would put cayenne powder in his, in coconut oil and rub it into his feet. And the other guy said he took, I think, 15 drops of sriracha sauce, which is just a hot sauce. Got red pepper cayenne in it, Oriental type, and he would put that in water and drink it. So it'll boost your chicken metabolism and get more eggs, or jumpstart their egg production if they've stopped, in the winter. So anyway, that's a 2-pronged thing there. So, and I've never heard that repeated. I've looked every once in a while. I'll look. There's things that I buy on eBay every once in a while. I'll look for them: oxygen tanks, oxygen fillers, oxygen, regulators, that type of thing. Because my wife was a midwife, I got into oxygen big time. I've looked a few times on this issue of the American Special Forces using cayenne and Russian Special Forces using curry, and I've never found it verified. So, anyway, that's just one of the things that so it's a double thing. Have a bunch of cayenne. It's not that have it in a really good container where it's not going to break, not going to get wet and bleed out onto your leg and burn your leg. Good cayenne will burn your leg. My son and I were helping a guy, the community deal, spray the orchard with cayenne, and it was hot. It was the hottest stuff he could get. It was I don't know how many Scoville units, You know, there's a Scoville periodic table of peppers, you know, like the periodic table of elements, you know. It's amazing. There's some now that they're just off the charts. They pick up where habanero left off, ghost peppers and stuff. But, so we were spraying, and he got some in the eye, and, you know, we kept working, and I got it all over my back. Every time I put it on, I got some on my back somehow. I don't know. Maybe he was careless spraying it, or maybe it's sloshed or something. If I put the thing on, I was okay. The second the air hit it, it was like, you know, fuel on the fire, oxygen on fire. It was literally oxidizing. So anyway, we got done. We went ahead and finished, and or maybe he took off early. I don't remember. But I ran in the house, jumped in their shower, stripped, took a cold shower, threw my clothes back on, got in the van, and raced home, which is about a couple miles, you know, and got in the shower. And Elaine looks at it. She goes like, "Oh, it's only a second-degree burn. You know, it was blistering." So it's only a second-degree burn. No problem. You'll be all right. So yeah, it was pretty funny. But yeah, Cayenne will keep you warm, but don't carry anything where you can burn yourself with. So, all right, that's it. I think this is Jerry Diamond. If you're listening to this, you are the remnant. I'll try to get a lights out now.